He who wears the crown.
Sorry, it's been 4 months, so I've only, I've been chair for like a year, but we've only met twice, so let's see.
So you're going
should
to
we-
call the meeting to order?
I need to do that. I'm getting my my agenda in order.
When should I schedule it for?
Oh my gosh, I'm so
I have Siri telling me how to do my job. It's great. All right, so let's go ahead and let's call this meeting to order.
Let's do it.
I think we start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was great. Good job. Let's do roll call.
Okay, agenda item C, roll call. Commissioner Tabera? Zaragoza? Here. Camarda?
Here.
Tran?
Here.
Thompson? Vice Chair Dennis?
Here.
Chair Hypes?
I am here.
And ex officio members Rodriguez?
Here.
Kusha?
Here.
And Wolf?
Here.
I would like to take a moment and introduce our new ex officio member, Marie Wolf, if you want to share a few words.
Thank you for the welcome. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited. I was just mentioning my due date is Christmas. So next meeting, I might have a baby strapped to my back, but I'm really looking forward to future meetings. Thank you.
Do I need to say that? Okay. Okay. Chair Hypes, I would like to remind the audience that if they wish to address the commission, they must submit a green request to speak form located at the podium in the back of the council chamber. Citizens can submit public comment to the commission electronically no later than 1 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Comments received before the deadline will be sent to the commission and will be part of the record and will be mentioned as part of the public comment portion of the agenda. Material may be emailed to cityclerk@cityofmerced.gov, and any correspondence received after 1 p.m. will be distributed to the commission and retained for the official record. Agenda item D, public comment. Chair Hypes, the clerk's office did not receive any electronic public comment, and there is just one person in the audience that I don't think will speak. Agenda item E, reports. E1, report on status of approved art projects.
That happens to me all the time. So we have a report, and I'll put it up. Do you want to, Alejandra, do you want to? Thank you very much. So thank you, Jennifer Flackman, Public Information Officer, Senior Management Analyst, and staff that supports the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission. So we wanted to give a report on all of the approved art projects that are about to go out to RFP, kind of in the queue. So we're going to start off with, and those that have been, that are ready. So we're starting off with the City Merced Brown Bag Concert Series, which we're super excited about. Tonight was supposed to be our first concert, but we canceled it, postponed it because of the rain, and the artist was thankful. But we're moving it to December 11th. Plus, we have a little bit more work to do in Bob Hart Square. We're putting the finishing touches on the square. So we moved that first concert to December 11th. And so I've put 5 to 9. That isn't the performance time, but that's the time we have for the stage for setup and all of the particulars. But the artists will start at 6:30 and play until 8, so an hour and a half or around that time. Brian Cade is an artist out of Fresno. He's got a soulful R&B vibe, so we're super excited to have him. And we're also, so we'll start promoting that this week, hopefully this Saturday. We're finishing up the flyers so we can start pushing that out on social media. And we're also working with the Downtown Partnership Association to promote it, so through their channels. And we're reaching out to all of the restaurants. I think we have 15 downtown, to let them know that we're having this concert, and if they're interested in having some kind of grab-and-go meal so that people can bring it to the square and enjoy the concert and a meal, or have it there before. It is a no alcohol zone, so we won't be supplying any alcohol at this point to this concert series. On December 18th, that's the next Thursday, Cheryl Lockett and Two Hoots and a Holler. And so I don't think anybody's going to be bringing chairs for this because it's super fun. The music that they have, classic rock sounds, so people will definitely be up swaying or dancing. And then in January, excuse me, the commission approved Madison Mitchell and the Mac Theater Camp. I'm sure Colton can provide some information on that, but family favorites, retro hits, so it's a youth choir. So we're super excited about that. And that's January 15th. I took screenshots, so. And then February 19th, this is a group called the Wrecking Balls. They're local, so they have 40, top 40 pop with a rock influence, super fun. So they've played several places in the surrounding community, so we're excited to have them. And then William Bailey, he's country, rock, pop, so again, very fun too. And he has been playing throughout the community for a while. And then the classic rocks and country sounds of Zoe Ray will bring home the 6-part concert series. And so hopefully they're super successful, and the commission will vote to add more as we go on. So that's part. So December 4th, we'll be putting out our upcycle project, our trash art, and at Farrens Park. We're going to install it at Farrens Park at the entrance to the park. And so the metal fabrication artist will collect items from the surrounding area of the creek. And according to the mayor, there's always a plethora of metal items. He calls me every now and again after the cleanup and says, hey, do you want to store these somewhere? So sadly, that's the case, but fortunately for the artists, they'll have quite a variety to select from. So that's going out the 4th. The deadline for submissions is the 30th of January. We gave this a while so that we would be able to promote it and get a good response. So this, the process for selection will be a couple months, and so we'll bring this to you at the March Advisory Commission meeting for you to review the submissions, and then we'll go to council in April, so they'll start at the end of April on this. Same thing with the Bob Hart Square Medallion Project. So right now, if you can see, there's an arch, and the arch will say Bob Hart Square, but the medallion in that circle will be metal and a fabrication. So we'll be putting that out again on the 4th with the same time frame. So those two projects will go to production at the same time. And so we're hoping to get a good response because we've extended the time frame. Excuse me. And then you noticed when you walked in, the display boards are up. We just had an art project display that was taken down, so we're gonna have another one up. So we'd like to keep that going like we talked about. It's a free platform for youth and student art projects. It could be something from the college, something from the high school, something from the MAC. So we wanna continue to have displays every 6 weeks, and so we're working with school sites to get art projects up. So right now, I think when you walked in, you saw there was a project by a Girl Scout troop that helped out with the SPCA. They built cat huts, and so they made project, and I think they got a badge for that. So I think that's what happens when you accomplish a project in the Girl Scouts. or in the Scouts. And then, I know Colton would like to talk about this, but our partnership with Merced County Arts Council for the state designation of a downtown arts and cultural advisory, culture advisory hub. I put center, but we had a great time with the state commission coming in and touring our community. It was super rewarding to be a part of it. The city is a partner, so we supplied a letter. I almost said leather, and the Downtown Partnership Association was the other partner. So we spent quite an afternoon showing them, and thank you to all who participated. So I was proud of our community, and everyone showed up to show what we have to offer in downtown and throughout. And again, this is our Downtown Arts and Cultural District logo and sign design. I put that off because I would like to see the results of said efforts with our partnership, so that we are sure that we're giving the right direction to an artist or a designer that's coming in to design a logo and signage for the downtown district. So our city council, if you'll recall, designated this downtown area as an arts district. And so if we are designated as a state, if we get designation from the state, we'll want to also include that. So we're anticipating an RFP release the end of December, January maybe. So, but I will definitely keep you posted. And then I am working on right now the RFP for the large scale mural on R Street in the multi-use path. That's the undercrossing under R Street. And so we're looking at mid-December. And so we have a lot of great ideas of what we'd like that mural to look like, either interactive or stagnant, but so just a theme of community and maybe a running bear or a running bicycle. But we'll have some super creative artists submit for this RFP, so I'm excited for that. But we're anticipating that in mid-December. And so I'm trying to space those out so that I have enough time to pay attention to the needs of all of the artists that are working on this project. And so working with artists who are independent contractors and have several projects outside of the city, I need to be respectful of those projects. And so we're trying to space these out. And then our utility box refresh project on 18th Main and 16th Street. So we're anticipating a release date of spring. These are all of the locations that were in the 2021 project. And so these are all of the locations that we are going to deassess, did I say that right? Deaccession. So we're going to have a deaccession ceremony. So we're taking all of the murals that are painted on these and we're putting them on Engage Merced, which is a project site. So they'll always be there. And so we can continue to pay tribute to the artists that did the work the first time around. And so as we've talked about in the past, we're looking to revitalize these utility box projects every 3 to 5 years. We are working with Public Works to determine how to prep those boxes, and I think Eddie can probably talk about that a little bit more, but it is labor intensive to remove the artwork that's on there, and so it's not a simple take some solution and wipe off the paint. So it's got graffiti protectant on there. So there are some things that we're trying to work with. I know Camarda gave us some suggestions of some in lieu work that could be done to help with that. So we're looking at those, but it is taking some time. So I'd like to apologize for the delay, but we want to be intentional when we put the RFP out, so it balances what the city is able to do and what an artist is required to do. And then, and that's it. So that's what we're looking for. So on the admin report, I think you'll see that we have an additional $13,500 left. So that's what we have left in the budget. And so we aren't making a decision on that today, but that is something that we have. Two of the projects, the Farrens Park sculpture and the Bob Hart Square sculpture will require some engineering work. So for example, the Farrens Park sculpture, we're gonna have to build a pedestal so that the sculpture can sit on top of the pedestal. And so that's an engineering and a third-party project. And so we're working with engineering to create that project. They have firms that they work with. And so we're probably going to need some funding to do that. We can't take that out of the art project funding. So we're gonna use some of this remaining $13,500 to build the pedestal and then secure it to the pedestal. And so we don't want to put that labor on the artist to secure it. So that's something the city would rather do. So we're doing that. And we think the minute I say this out loud, it's probably going to be off between $250 and $500 to build that and secure it. But that's kind of the range that our city engineer quoted me. But I do not have a quote in front of me, so that's a range. I just want to give you an idea of where that is. And the same with Bob Hart Square. We're going to have some type of mechanism to affix the medallion in the center, and so that's going to take some engineering as well. So there may be some cost with that, some minimal cost with that. So we're hoping to get that all dialed in when we issue this RFP so that the engineering department knows what their responsibilities are and the artist has the expectations for what they need to do to make to have the art with the ability to affix it to the pedestal and the cement structure. Have you been to Bob Hart Square? We're so excited about that. So a little bit of work to do, but things are coming along, and it'll be so exciting to see what a medalist or a fabricator, an artist fabricator comes up with for that square. So that's where we are with those projects. We have a lot of work to do. We have a couple of utility cabinet projects left to go. So we're working with the artists to finish those up. But the last utility box or utility cabinet, our project was Eddie's, and that is on Olive and G Street. So, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer those questions.
Colton?
Oh, man, thanks for the report, Jennifer. You've been doing a lot of work. I do have a question. I got a message from Christian Aguilar, who did the Kobe Bryant utility box mural.
Yes.
And so it's I guess there's another book being published about Kobe Bryant and art surrounding him. And that utility box in particular
I do recall
is
that.
going to be published in that. And he was wondering, because he knows about the DSSing, if something like that, he said he would, this is what he told me, that he's willing to clean it up if necessary, if it needs to be. And if something like that happens, is there a way that we can keep a box longer, or is there?
I think that's up to the commission. I mean, we aren't agendized to approve that, but I
Right.
can definitely, I'll talk to Christian and then we'll come back in February to determine. There are boxes, there are utility cabinets that are in great shape still, and so what I can do is bring those back and we can look at the condition of the boxes, and we can determine if there are any that we want to hold off on deaccessioning or painting over. So we can do that. If you'd like, I can you can ask to add that to a future agenda. I can bring that
Okay.
back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
We don't have that RFP out yet, and we still have some work to do on how to prep the boxes, because they are functioning for our street lights, and we have to be particular with the treatment of those. But beautiful picture on G and Olive. So,
Nick?
Yeah, if this presentation is going to be going to the council, I noticed a couple typos and misspellings in there that
did I misspell something?
you misspelled Cheryl Lockett's last name.
Okay,
So two
I will-
T's instead, should be two T's instead
Thank
of
you.
one. And Farron's Park without the apostrophe.
I did notice that, and my face turned red when I was pronouncing Farron's Park. So these are approved art projects, and so this is not going to council. This is a report so that you know where we are, because we did have, I think we have $13,000, around $13,500 to allocate, and we would like to get into these projects before we talk about other art projects. So we'll bring that back in February. But I apologize to Cheryl, who I love dearly and know how to spell her name. And I will make corrections to those. Thank you.
And I apologize for being that guy.
You know what? I'm that gal. So I have a cup that says, "I'm silently correcting your grammar." So there you go.
Anyone else? I know. This is great. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, there's a lot happening, so it's really nice to see that.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
And do we need to
Nope.
agendize anything at all? I don't think,
I
other
think
than,
in council comments, you can, or ask, future agenda items,
Okay.
yes.
all right. Well, thank you so much.
Get back so I can take some notes.
Okay, and that item was for information only. So agenda item F, business, F1, request to add item to future agenda.
Does anyone have, anyone besides Colton? No? Okay, Colton?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Jennifer, I'd like to put in the future agenda a discussion on utility boxes, maybe making a priority of which ones get de-assessed, how we go about that process, maybe. Thank you.
Third mistake, in January, not February. So we'll be meeting in January of February. Okay, I'm done with my mistakes for today.
Completely unacceptable. Anyone else have anything to request to add for the future agenda in January? All right, no, I don't see anyone. I don't have my glasses on. When? I'm supposed to. Are we supposed to make a motion for, no, we don't have to do that.
So
right?
I think we talked about looking at the remaining funding and maybe talking about how, unless the subcommittee wants to get together and make some recommendations for the $13,500 that we have left, I think by that time we'll know what the pedestal is going to cost and what. So we talked about that. If you'd like to add that.
I would add setting aside money for the pedestal or no, for the 13.5.
Yeah.
I would be interested in maybe perhaps having the subcommittee come back with some potential recommendations of what to do with the remaining 13.5. I would even wonder if the subcommittee could think about maybe certain art types or art kind of disciplines that maybe we haven't hit yet, or that we haven't really paid as much attention to as we have other ones. So that's something I think would be exciting to explore. Any other recommendations that I think I forgot? been a long day. All right.
Agenda item F2, commission comments.
Colton Dennis.
First of all, I will mention that, as Jennifer had mentioned, the Cultural Arts District walk tour that we had with the California Arts Council that was here. We had several staff from the California Arts Council, and we had their executive director, that's right. Their ED for the California Arts Council was present. And this is something that we turned in, this designation application months ago. And it's a collaboration. You had to have three entities. You had to have an arts nonprofit, you had to have a business association, you had to have a government agency. And so, of course, the Merced County Arts Council was the arts agency. The Downtown Merced Partnership was the business association, and of course the government agency was the City of Merced, and that was all on Jennifer. And so the Merced Downtown Partnership had Gloria, and so Gloria and Jennifer and I applied for this, organized it, and so special thanks to both Jennifer and Gloria for making this happen, getting us all together and keeping us organized. So there are 14 designations already through the state of arts and culture districts, and none in the Central Valley, and they're only selecting 10. But what we found out during the day of the walking tour is that there are 20 semifinalists, so it seems like we have a 50-50 chance, possibly. And I mean, it just felt like our community of artists really came together that day. We could only have 20 people by the rules from the CAC. We could only have 20 people talk at the community meeting for the first 2 hours, and then the rest, or first hour, and then the other 2 hours were touring downtown, and everyone came together. Like Bree with the Clayworks was amazing, and Cian Ojos, Tanya Hemi's studio, everyone's studio or space, the Mainzer and El Cap, even City Hall. We had works from high school students and our, I think, probation too, or no, juvenile hall. And everyone just really came together. Artists like Eddie told their stories about what makes Merced so special, especially when it comes to arts and our artists. And we really brought it, man. We really did. And I think it just goes to show how collaborative and what a great spirit all the artists and arts organizations here have. And it's amazing. And so even if we don't get the designation, I think we should be very proud. But I think we really, after that day, I felt like we have a good chance. So that's all I'll say about that, unless anyone has any questions. But also for comments, last night I went to the premiere of The Joy of Lao by Karina Turner. She's a Merced filmmaker. She's won several awards. For her third time, she won the Big Tell grant, which showcases and highlights Central Valley stories. It's down in down in Fresno with the CMAC, the Community Media Center of Fresno, and it was at the Tower Theater last night. And it showcased the Lao New Year that we have downtown and the Lao boat races, mostly put on by the VLF, the Vatalaman Lao Foundation, and Sue Bangong Amanavong and Alisak and Pang and Kamla and all those people that put that on. And it showcased them, and it showcased one of the amazing things and events that we have here in Merced. And it's going to premiere on PBS soon, and after it premieres on PBS, hopefully we can get it to Merced and have it premiere here as well. It's only about 5 to 8 minutes long, and it was excellent. And then, so bravo to them. Coming up this Friday night, and this week, one weekend only at Merced Theater, we have Hamlet with Merced Shakes. So get your tickets. It looks great. It looks pretty amazing. At the MAC, we have the CHA Show, the Contemporary Humanitarian Artists Association. They open next Wednesday, November 26th, and they run through January 11th. as well as the Arbor Gallery, their big show that they have the same time frame. Also, if you guys haven't heard on or seen on social media, there's a Bob Hart Square clock fundraiser that you can get shirts. And so since that's part of Bob Hart Square with the new theater, or the new amphitheater that's out there now, that's stage, I should say, it would be nice to get that clock fixed. And so I think they need to raise like $27,000. And so this is one way to do that. So if you see that, I got two. I got one of each color. Also, speaking of fundraisers, the County Times is having a fundraiser too for them. You could get swag. I got a nice Times hat, a nice post bag, and a shirt. And they are great supporters of the arts and all that we do here. I mean, if there's a story, if there's something that needs to be publicized for the arts, like a art show, the art galleries, what's going on in town through arts and culture, they go out of their way to make sure that it's posted. So I think it's vital for us to support them as well. And that's all I have. And Jennifer, thanks again for all the work that you do.
Eddie, number one. Bree, did you request to speak too? Okay, good. So there's two Rodriguez's, so go ahead.
So Colton mentioned the Chaw Show coming up at the MAC, and then also at the Carnegie on the 21st, so it's this Friday. Doors open at 7, screening at 7:15. They're going to show, Yehuda has his documentary about Frank Ayala, Ruben Sanchez, and Abel Cochada. And then on November 29th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Cien Ojos has their Shop Chibi, like an annual show or like a shopping event that they have.
Awesome. Bree?
Yeah, I just had a quick question regarding the designation for the cultural district. Has the state provided any sort of timeline for when they will update us on whether we got it or not?
Yeah, that's a good question, but no. The simple answer is no. There's no real time frame that they've given us. I just know that they had they have to do 20 tours. I don't know if they've finished that. I know that the day they visited here, they had a tour somewhere else the next day. So I guess it depends on finishing the tour. And what they have to do, they meet once a month, and you can watch online, go to the California Arts Council website and look under their meetings. And there's always a Zoom. You could always go on Zoom and watch the meetings. And there's always time for public comment as well. But I'm hoping, and until they usually post their agenda the week before, or at least the Friday before. So we could look at that. And if it's on their agenda when they're looking through it, then that's probably the time that they're going to say, that they're going to pick the designation, the 10 of the 20. So stay tuned. There's no real time frame. We're hoping by the end of this year that we'll know. By the end of December, it would be great. So, but no guarantee on that.
Glenn?
All right, just a quick announcement. December 6th, we are having a big Christmas parade downtown. I invite everybody to come on and join us. There's also going to be a photo walk put on by the guys at Cien Ojos Studios. So if you're a photographer, they're welcoming film, digital, whatever it is that you shoot, even cell phones. You can take a photo walk with them. They've got a couple of stops that are set up. Also, the Mercado is going to be having a celebration on that very same day. They're going to be doing that from 1 to 6 p.m. So make sure you come out and shop at the Mercado while the parade is going on. Other than that, that's it.
Anyone else? Yeah, I think if you have a moment, take a chance and just look at everything that's actually happening in the month of December. It's a little crazy. There's parades, there's concerts, there's other holiday events that are happening. There's so much going on as soon as December hits. It's a little overwhelming at times.
Isn't the United Way, don't they have something going on?
In January, we have a speakeasy happening in January, which is, I can't talk about it because it's a speakeasy, but I can't even tell you where it's at. Can't refer to anything, but it's a speakeasy, and it's just live music, games, specialty cocktails and heavy appetizers. And my only guarantee is that, unlike other fundraisers, I won't be talking a lot. You just come and have fun, and I don't spend the time trying to ask you for more money. So, anything else? then I think we are, I think we're good to talk about adjourning.
Yes. Agenda item G, adjournment. So I'll need a motion and a second.
Motion to adjourn.
Camarda?
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Commissioner Camarda and a second by Vice Chair Dennis. Chair and Commissioners, please cast your vote.
Oh, wait, hold on, okay.
Do I need to reset it?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I voted yes.
And the, and the vote passes unanimously.
Thank you.